CK Productions.
What is up? Need for Speed Racers. It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We're here today with the top 3 drag race cars for B class. Gotta give a big shout out to my favorite nephew, Tetsu. He really is pushing the limits in the drag race scene, testing a lot of stuff, building and validating times. He's already got a video out. I'm gonna link that at the end of this. I'll also put a card in it when we get to the Raptor. Guys, go check it out. It's got like 87 views as of now, and he needs way more publicity than what he's getting on that. So I've taken the build from that video and I'm showing it to you guys here, but I want you guys to go give his channel some action too. We've got a lot of members of the Cornnut crew that are posting their own builds and doing stuff because I can't always get to it. And in this case, with the meta in the drag racing, I want to show it to you guys, but truth be told, he actually has already video out on it, but for the sake of a little bit more viewership, I figured you guys would want to see it here as well, and then check out his channel as well, so that way when he does post something, you guys are in on it. Let's get into it. The very first build is actually a cheese drift build in B class from my man SlideQT, and everything in B class is pretty much cheese. It has a 130 top speed, but this one is really special. Now Slide's already put this on his channel as well. I will link him and put a card here as well. So like, these guys are all members of the Cornnut crew. They're all my friends. I just have the bigger channel, so I want to take and compile everything that the guys are working on and bring it to you, so you are getting the top tier of everything that is fast. And then from here, somebody else will always copy it and put it on their channel. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to know that it's where it's originating from, so I can give credit where credit is due. So the Testarossa is going to be our B class build. In the short track, it is pretty damn fast because it's got a ludicrous sum of horsepower. Follow the steps. If you don't do this exactly right for the handling and the downforce, it's not going to fit. So let me show you what we're working with here. The engine that we use, guys, is the first engine over. It is the Iron Basic 4.9 liter V8, 225 brake horsepower. When we start, we basically triple it. For the parts, it is Silver Pro induction, Sport Bronze ECU, Super Gold fuel system, Iron Basic exhaust, and then Elite Platinum screw supercharger. Nitrous does not matter in drag racing. You are going to equip the Elite Platinum road suspension, stock brakes, Elite Platinum drift tires, stock clutch, and then you are going to equip the Sport Bronze 4-speed transmission, so make sure you throw that in there. And then Elite Platinum differential, you do need that, that way you can get everything to fit. You can get away with the Super Gold if you're balling on a budget, but Elite Platinum is the way to go. Auxiliaries do not matter in drag racing. Now, you can take this same exact setup and race it in B class as a drift setup. So if you want to do that, just throw some auxiliaries in there. All the rest of the stuff will remain the same. Slide really dialed this in. This car is bonkers. So the handling, you need to be at 30% drift. So slide the slider to the right, 30% drift. Guys, look at the PI number at the top. So it's like A plus 235 at 25% drift. 30% it goes to B158. 35 it goes to 235 again. So like, we are right on the cusp of this car just being way out of the class. I mean, it jumps all of A class, goes right into A plus. Steering sensitivity does not matter because it is drag racing. Downforce, go all the way left, back it off 1. It's the only place the downforce works. You got to have 30% drift and then go all the way to the left, back it off 1. That is B class 158. Anywhere else in there, you guys, it does not fit. It's crazy. Like, this is a very specific spot. I got to give crazy credit to Slide for finding this because it is like right on the cusp of what fits. And it's truly the most horsepower and torque we can get in this car for B class. Traction control off, drift engine, brake tap, none of that stuff matters for drag racing. What that's going to give you is the short track Testarossa in B class, 130 for the top speed. It'll do like 140 with redline tech, 618 for the horsepower, 747 for the torque. Right above me right here is a card on screen. You can click on that. That's going to take you right to SlideQT's YouTube channel. Go check him out. He posts a lot of builds. He is the fastest guy in the game on almost all of the tracks. As soon as we start to get into S+, there's a couple other guys, but Slide really sets the standard for what is fast. So give him a like, give him a follow if you're not already doing that. That is the B-Class Rossa. Let me show you what we got next. Short track was the Rossa. This is going to be your mid-tier to top speed track, like the longer ones, so quarter mile and then the half mile runs. If you have this car and do not have the Raptor, you build this. If you have the Raptor in your stable, you can pass on this one because the Raptor is faster, but it does require a bit of a technique to get it to go. Same with this one. So you guys are going to get good at your bump shifting, but I'm here to bring you the meta. It's your job to learn how to drive it. So let's get into it. The engine that we use in this one is the stock engine, is the 2.6 liter inline 6, 348 brake horsepower when we start, and then we subtract some horsepower from there. Guys, make sure you are buying the ASAP Rocky 190E from the customs tab, or if you unlock it in single player and it transfers over, you can do that too. The base level Mercedes 190E does not work. You've got to use this one because it's the hero car. It has different performance stats. This is the one. For the parts, it is silver pro induction, and then you're going to do iron basic, basically nothing, ECU, fuel system, and exhaust. And you actually have to buy those parts, which is kind of funny. So it's only like $1,200, but you do have to purchase them because it starts at a higher tier. You are going to do sport bronze roots supercharger. Once again, bringing it down from the existing performance that it would have. You're going to go with stock nitrous, elite platinum off-road suspension, basic brakes or bronze brakes, and then you're going to do sport bronze off-road tires. You do want to retain the elite platinum clutch, and then you want to put in the silver pro 6-speed transmission. All of those parts are very important because we bump shift this, so you want to have the good clutch with that 6-speed, so that way you've got gears to bounce around in. And then I'm going to show you a clip at the end of the builds with the Raptor. Tetsu's driving it because he's just perfect at it, and basically you spam bump shift and you can get that thing up to about 180 plus in B class. I've seen him get up to 190, but I don't have a clip from that. But you can get above 180 in B class in the Raptor. And you can do a very similar type thing with this, but it's a lesser version. So like I said, if you have Raptor, buy that. If you don't, use this. You are going to run the Elite Platinum Diff. That way you get the most out of the handling slider. And don't worry about aux because we don't use them in drag racing. Handling slider, slide the slider to the right, 40% drift. Steering sensitivity does not matter. Downforce right in the middle. Traction control off, drift entry, brake tap, gas tap, doesn't matter because we're not drifting. That is the ASAP Rocky 190E. Says it does about 160. It'll go a bit faster than that because once you learn how to bump shift, you can really get it singing. 296 on the horsepower, 289 on the torque. Once again, this car does not perform if you just drive it normally. You need to use the bump shift technique to make it go. I've got a video on that I'm going to link at the end. It's how to use bump shift, and it's a really good way to get around the track. It's kind of a cool technique. But that being said, let me show you the truly fastest timed car in the B class. This is one chunky boy. We are using the Ford Raptor in B class drag. It is the fastest overall vehicle to get down the long tracks from A to B because you can get up to like 190 with bump shift. It's not easy. I'm really not that good at the technique. I have not sat down and really tried to hone that, but I do have a clip right after this to show you what it looks like when that is being accomplished and how fast Tetsu bumps around. And then I'm going to also link a card right now that you can click on. That'll take you to Tetsu's channel where he shows a little bit more gameplay with this. And give that video a like. Give that man a follow. Same with Slide earlier. If you guys are not following these guys, these are members of the Cornnut crew. These are guys that I've been messing with for a long time that have really been helping me. And we want to make sure that we are just spreading the love all around the YouTube algorithm because these guys will post a video sometimes before I get to it. And if you want to be first on the scene, you kind of need to be following a little bit of everybody. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it. So the engine that we use in the Ford Raptor is the 3.5 liter V6 Sport Bronze, 450 brake horsepower when we start. It is the second engine over. For the parts, it is Elite Platinum induction. It is Super Gold ECU, Sport Bronze fuel system, and Silver Pro exhaust. You are going to run the Elite Platinum Root supercharger. NOS doesn't matter. Elite Platinum off-road tires, stock brakes, and then Sport Bronze drift tires. Make sure you throw the drifty boys on there because we need it for the handling slider. You are going to run the Elite Platinum clutch. Clutch is very important when we're doing the bump shift technique. With that clutch, the shifts are faster, it launches the car quicker, it's kind of all part of it, so make sure you have that Elite Platinum part on there. And then you're going to do the Silver Pro 6-speed transmission. The other ones don't really matter. you only need 5th and 6th to make this all go, and so there's no reason to throw the super gold in there or even the elite. So just run the 6 speed. You are going to run the elite platinum differential. That way we get the handling slider, and then auxiliaries don't matter for drag racing. Handling, slide the slider to the right, 90% drift. That is the way to get the car to fit. Steering sensitivity does not matter. Downforce all the way high. Anywhere else is into the A class, so make sure you've got your downforce and your handling set up correctly, otherwise it won't fit. Traction control off, drift entry, doesn't fucking matter. All right, overall, that's going to give you 715 on the horsepower, 766 on the torque. This is the fastest car from A to B in the longer drag races. Stay tuned. Let me show you the gameplay footage that I've got from Tetsu. Click on the link that I showed earlier for Tetsu's channel. Do the same for Slide. Give these guys some love. Drop a comment on their videos. Say that Cornnut sent you, so that way they know you guys are they know they're getting traffic from this video, because we really want to share the love around. Outside of that, like this video if you haven't, please. Literally 10% of you guys, so 10 out of 100 or 1 out of 10, you guys are legends for liking the video. It really does help propel it to a higher level. More people see it in the algorithm, and it helps me grow. And honestly, we want everybody to be fighting with the same stick, so share it around, show other people what's up, because you're going to start walking people once you learn how to bump shift. Full transparency, if you don't bump shift, these cars aren't that fast. You've got to use that technique to make these go. So it's kind of a full package deal. I'll link the video at the end that shows the kind of a walkthrough on what bump shifting is, and then it's up to you guys to put the pieces together. Like Slide, like Tetsu, follow them both. Shout out to the guys for the help. You guys have a great rest of your day. Watch the footage I got for you right now. See you next time. Bye-bye.